Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics, and this is the Corona Diaries, where I just go through my own personal observations of how the lockdown is going, particularly in this chaotic, potentially end phase of it in the UK. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, first thing I noticed, so yesterday when I went out for night, the time of the week when I go out to the shops, and the traffic is properly back up now. It's quite close to normal, and really were a lot of cars on the road. So the way it's been during the lockdown is largely deserted. You go out for your time. At the time I go out, it has been pretty much deserted. You occasionally come across the other car. More likely to come across a lorry, of course, that have still been carrying out work. But now there's actual traffic. You know, at no point was I ever on a road, whatever road it was, whether it was the motorway or just an A road going into town, at no point was I the only person that I could see. There were always other cars there, and usually quite a few, enough to the point where I'd be just behind another car at a suitable stopping distance, of course, and someone else would be behind me, and several other cars visible. This is, it wasn't quite the same as normal. I'm not saying traffic is as usual now. And it could be due to various things. There are more businesses opening up again. Now, some of those businesses, fair enough. But some of them really shouldn't be opening. Absolutely shouldn't be opening. When you consider that at the time I'm doing this, and even at the time at which you're going to be watching this, the lockdown is still fully in effect. The government haven't eased anything, no matter what's been said in the newspapers. The government may be easing something for Monday. They are announcing something on Sunday. We do not know what it is. Yes, there's an awful lot of speculation that it probably is an easing of measures to some degree. We don't know what. And the papers certainly don't know what. But as of now, those measures are still in place, and there's a list of types of business that are allowed to be in operation, and some of the ones in operation that are opening up again now should not be, but it makes no difference. Some of the extra traffic, of course, could be people now going to work as things ramp up, and some of them may, of course, be customers going to those places of business, and whether that is something they should or shouldn't be doing, I don't know. But you'd also think, and I've thought, as a result of the way the papers are treating the lockdown as if it's basically over, some of it will also be people just going out when they don't really need to. And if they're just going out for the sake of going out, that's one thing. But if you're going out to visit others, that is another. And so one of the reasons I went out to go to the supermarket, and I was queuing up outside there. So they've got a situation now, it's like one in, one out, effectively. So you queue up outside. We do this at a few supermarkets. 2 meters apart. They've taped it all out for you. And I was in this queue, and I was there thinking, I looked around and I thought, do you know what? I'm the only person with a face mask here. Little thing I learnt about face masks as well. Not ideally combined with glasses. Because I don't normally wear glasses. I wear glasses to drive. My sight isn't that bad, but I need them to drive. And I thought I might as well just keep them on, because I had a look around. I was in the car. I thought there's not that many people with face masks, and I know obviously people can't easily get hold of face masks. I get them from abroad, but people have been, the cloth ones where you can put filters in, or just the government have advised just stick a scarf around your head, put a jumper over your head or something like that, cut little eye holes in it, be reet. But not often, and some people are not even doing that. So I was stood in this queue, and it was a good 10 minutes in this queue to get inside the store before I saw someone else join the queue that had a face mask on. And I think when I was round the store, I saw a few people coming out and a few people around that had them on as well. I would estimate about 1 in 10 people had a face mask. And I don't know whether that's, with other people's experience, whether that's good or bad. I mean, I know it's bad. It's not really good at all when we know that's the measure. And I know the government are not really pushing that message to do something. But that was quite remarkable. But yes, so the glasses. So what I discussed, so I put the glasses on as some. Obviously, it's not a face visor, but some sort of protection. And I just keep them on. And what I discovered was when you put the face mask on, you breathe straight up, mists my glasses up. So certainly can't drive with a face mask on, not that you would really need to. But if you were planning on, for example, you put the face mask off to go to one shop and you just leave it on while you're driving, that's not an option for me. Because even going around Morrison's, I was like trying to look at the products of lifting my glasses up like Leclerc from a lower low, and to actually see what I was bloody well buying. So that was an interesting one. Might have to rethink that one at some point. Maybe actually just get some goggles. I used to have some lab goggles. They'd be better than nothing. Needs to be something where there's a bit of a seal underneath. I mean, I know ideally you'd have a seal around the whole thing to offer, better protection, but at least under there so the breath doesn't go up. And then there's a few observations. In fact, I'm actually going to end up doing a couple of videos this weekend on my observations, because I think because there's been so much more activity, there's more things I'm observing. But the other one I'm going to come on to is the rainbows. And this is nothing new as such, and for those, most of my viewers are in the UK, but for those who maybe don't know, we've got this nice little show of affection for the NHS in the UK, where children are encouraged to draw rainbows and you put it in your window. So you go along a lot of houses where they've got kids and there's pictures of rainbows in the windows, and usually something as well that indicates it's for the NHS, which is nice. But as a teacher, of course, I can't help but notice that there's a learning opportunity here. And indeed, most of them, when I've gone past, I've given them a good close look. It looks like the parents have been right on board with that, because most of the rainbows I come across have the colours in the right order, which is fantastic. Because I don't expect the average parent to know the order, but the fact that so many have done it suggests to me that the parents have taken some time to guide their child to do it in the right order, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And you see these all over. You even see them, in Downing Street, when Boris Johnson was speaking outside Downing Street, there was some in his window. I think they were his window. I'm not entirely sure which. I think that's his, because obviously the Chancellor also lives at Downing Street, number 11 Downing Street. I can't imagine that Boris Johnson himself drew them. I know Donald Trump is well known for using crayons, but I'm not sure Boris Johnson is. And his child is, well, I say that, he's obviously got multiple children who are old enough to do them, but he's not really in contact with them. And the one who is in contact with is not really old enough to do it. So, which leads me to one of two conclusions. Either he's stolen them, which I will say probably isn't the case. In fact, actually, what I was actually thinking is, how has he acquired these things? Maybe children have sent them in. Maybe you've got some children whose parents are NHS doctors or nurses or paramedics, and they're afraid for their mummy or daddy contracting the coronavirus due to not enough PPE, so they send off a rainbow to the Prime Minister to tug on his heartstrings. And Boris Johnson opens it up and he goes, "Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, Carrie love, look at this. They've sent me some free PR. Stick it in the window, will you?" So that's how I imagine that goes. But there was one rainbow that I saw out and about on my daily walks that I couldn't countenance. And there were a couple that were in the wrong order. I'm certainly not having a pop at the children. No fault of the child. Parents who are failing to use it as a learning opportunity. And, if we're going to be honest, is it the most important thing to know the order of colours in a rainbow anyway? No, but, if you're going to do something, do it right. But that's not what I was having a pop at. So if I put this image up here, you'll be able to see, there's actually 3 things wrong with this image. You'll be able to see 2 of them straight away. There's 3 things wrong. One is not apparent. You wouldn't get it from here. And but there are 2 very, very obvious things wrong. And the first, of course, the most egregious, is it's digitally produced. Where's the affection there? It's supposed to be crayon drawings. They're supposed to be a bit rubbish because it's supposed to show the love, the effort that's gone into it. It's a child. And I guess maybe one of the parents maybe has a media studies degree or something. But come on. That's no good. There's no effort gone into there. There's no heart. There's no love. I mean, that's appalling. And, and then the other thing that, of course, strikes you is heroes on it, because it's to the NHS heroes. and heroes is spelt wrong. And there's a couple of problems with this. First of all, the parent has clearly not used it as a learning opportunity for the child. Second of all, I judge the parents for another reason. Now, I've said as a teacher, I would be horrified to think of most parents trying to homeschool their kids. If you're not a teacher, don't. Now, that's not to say I'm saying just leave them watching Netflix all day. No, get involved. Absolutely, with their education. Just don't try and put on lessons. But you should get involved. Get them to read fiction and non-fiction. Get them to write. Engage with them. Talk to them about current affairs, things like that. All of these things would be absolutely brilliant. Now, on the reading front, no child that reads a healthy amount of fiction would spell heroes wrong. No child. Has to be said, an awful lot of children's literature, doesn't matter what sort of child it's aimed at, an awful lot of children's literature has heroes in it. The word is going to be writ large in lots of children's books. So I judge them for that as well. And then the other thing is, you think about, hang on, this has been digitally produced. There would have been a big ugly headline under this thing as the spell checker basically shouted to the person at the computer, are you sure you want to print this out and put it in your window? You're going to look like a prized tit. Do you think you maybe ought to have a little look at this word again? No, they've just... So not only is there no care shown because it's not a heartfelt drawing, there's no care shown because the bloody thing's spelt wrong. But that's the two obvious things wrong with it. Then there was the third thing. So I got to this window and I had to stop, and I had a good old rant. My poor suffering girlfriend, and then I was just about finished, being really truly appalled, and I started off on the walk again, and there was another one in the next window. They've done it twice. They've put it in both windows. It's just, as a teacher, I was just screaming. I was just thinking, there's no. You failed to identify a learning opportunity and to encourage that learning opportunity. What you're encouraging the child to do, if indeed it is even a child responsible, the parent is of course responsible, but the child that's done it, rip things off the internet and then not even bother to do a spell check. I'm going to have to teach them at some point, possibly. Actually, no, the college, I don't know where I'll be teaching by the time they're of that age. But, no. But anyway, those are a couple of my observations for this week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, please click the Patreon link for details. And at some point this weekend, there'll be another one, because I have another couple of little things I'd like to have a minor rant about as well in terms of my observations out and about. But until then, stay safe, and I'll see you later.